The synchros, the synchros, the synchros be poppin'. Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Siobhan. To those of you who don't know, I am a professional psychic medium, spiritual channeler, teacher, and tarot reader. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at synchronicities, what the synchronicities in your life are trying to tell you, and maybe how they're showing up or what symbols are coming up for you. Spirit asked me to choose the 3 images that you see here in front of you. So for group 1, we have the sunflower. For group number 2, we have this beautiful plum bush. For group number 3, we have the pink heart. Now, they didn't tell me why we picked those images or why those are going to be relevant to each group, but there you have it. So select the image that feels like it is calling to you. If you feel called to more than one, that's totally fine. You can watch more than one reading or you can watch them all. It's totally up to you. Just use your intuition to discern what messages feel like they're for you and which are not. And we will see you in your readings. All right. Hi, group number 1. You guys chose the sunflower, and this one is the one that I'm actually the most excited for because I was really curious to see what's going to come up in the sunflower reading, as I too have been seeing sunflowers. Now, I think that the synchronicities are going to be different from person to person, but there may be some generalities to the symbolism or the imagery, and that's why they've had me do this reading and choosing these particular symbols. So first of all, before we even jump into any cards, what is synchronicity? Well, it's essentially meaningful coincidences. The term was coined by Carl Jung, one of my favorite psychologists, and it's really just about seeing the meaning between these coincidences because it's really spirit speaking to you and communicating through these synchronized events or symbols or repeating patterns. So that's something spirit will do, is they'll often use imagery. They'll often use different repeating themes or patterns or archetypes to show us a particular message or to activate us or to help us to clear something or to bring something to our awareness that is at a more subconscious level. It's kind of similar to interpreting symbolism through, for example, like in dreams, dream interpretation, but instead you're doing it consciously and intentionally with the symbols and synchronicities that you're seeing in your everyday life. So this is kind of like a dream as well, and spirit will show you those types of symbols and imagery to help you discern meaning. So let's find out what the sunflower is before we jump into cards. I'm just going to sit and tune into the energy of the symbol that you've chosen, and we'll see what messages come through. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing, I'm transported to this like beautiful sunflower field. It feels like it's midsummer. The air is warm and sweet. The sun is radiating and beaming onto my skin. It's warming me up from the inside out. I feel peaceful. I feel calm. It just feels like a very pleasant day. So that's really what the sunflower symbol represents. It's like this peace, contentment, happiness, sweetness, growth, and warmth. Those are really the main key themes that I'm seeing just right off the bat. So let's find out what this actually means for you in your life, why this symbol is coming up or why you've been drawn to it today. If this is the first time you've seen it, you may start to see it more, especially in relation to the message that's coming through in this reading, which obviously was just kind of giving you some of those themes, but I think we're going to get a lot more information. So let's jump into your cards. So for group number 1, why is the sunflower here for them? What does it mean in their life right now? What do they need to know? Oh, you have the dog. Your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. Now, I don't always take the meaning of the cards literally. I always translate them intuitively. And to me, the dog feels like loyalty, companionship, warmth, growth, playfulness. And now they're showing me a dog running through that field that I was just standing in clairvoyantly. And it feels like golden retriever energy, honestly. Like the golden sunflower, the golden rays of the sun, the golden retriever. Yeah, it's like playfulness, happiness, joy, innocence, growth. It definitely feels like the sun card, like the sun card in the tarot even has sunflowers in it. But yeah, it's that type of a vibe. Okay, so let's keep going. Get a card from the unicorn deck as well for group number 1. Why is the sunflower here in their life? What does this symbol mean? Whoa, it like flipped right out. Did you guys see that? Let go of stress. Don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. So that was like really the feeling that I was getting. All stress melted away when I was standing in that field of sunflowers. It was like just pure peace, contentment, enjoyment, innocence. It was like I said, it felt like being warmed up from the inside out. So all of the stress just melted away and it was pure contentment. That was really the feeling. Now, the fact that the dog card does talk about loyalty being misplaced by serving too many masters, and this one's talking about letting go of other people's stress. This could be stress that you are taking on from other people consciously or unconsciously because you are such a loyal and compassionate person. You know, at soul level, you can feel their stress, their worry, their fear, or whatever it is, and you want to alleviate some of that for them by taking it on yourself. But Spirit doesn't want you to do that. First of all, because kind of depriving them of the opportunity to transmute that and empower themselves through that lesson. And you're also weighing yourself down with things that don't belong to you. What they want you to focus on instead is this removal of the stress and going into this energy of contentment, because that contentment is promoting so much growth for you, group number 1. So when you see the sunflower, this is a sign that they want you to move away from stress, let go of what's not yours and what's not within your control, and go to this happy place. Find the happy place, like in Happy Gilmore. Go to your happy place, Happy. That's pretty much it. Like, go to your happy place within. Maybe it's a place physically in the world. Maybe it's, with the people you love, or animal friends and family members, dogs, cats, fish, I don't know, lizards, whatever you love. Maybe it's going out in nature, right? So these are the types of things that they want you to focus on, because you've been taking on stress that's not yours, especially in a teamwork situation. You have the teamwork card here. What does it say? Work with others to make this situation come about. I feel like you've been trying to work with others to the point of kind of like burning yourself out, and you need to decide. We have the decide card on the bottom as well. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. Decide what's best for you and do that. And it doesn't mean that you have to abandon other people or anything like that, because I see you're a very loyal soul. You're a very loyal person. That's a beautiful quality. But you also have to be loyal to yourself, first and foremost. Otherwise, you cannot help other people, right? Secure your own airbag first and then help others. So they want you to remove that stress and return back to this state of contentment and joy, because that's what's actually going to help other people and alleviate their stress. It's not you taking on their stress. That's not being a good teammate. Actually, it's being in your peaceful, loving, joyous energy, because that helps them to transmute their stress. That is your service. You have Dragon's Blood, Anima Mundi. This is really cool because I saw a comment, I think it was earlier today, somebody commented on one of the previous readings where this card came up, and they taught me that Anima Mundi means world soul, which I think is so cool. So I really feel, group number 1, that you are connected to the world soul. You're very, very, they just said conduit for collective consciousness, which is probably why you pick up on other people's energy. You're probably an empath. You're probably very compassionate. You're most likely, again, someone who's very loyal, but you need to be discerning with that. You need to decide to take care of yourself, because you're not doing anyone any good if you are drowning in stress and debt and worry and fear and any of those lower vibrational energies. Spirit really wants you to be in that high vibrational, joyous, childlike, free state, because that is the service that you provide for the world. That is the renewal, that is the rejuvenation that this world needs from you. And the dragon, like dragon's blood, feels like a precious, precious resource, like a mystical resource. And this is kind of what I see this energy being for you. It's like you are that mystical resource, and when you are in joy, it is priceless, it is infinite, and it is so healing and mystical, magical, powerful. So they really want you to be focusing on that, because that's going to create what you're wanting in terms of the outcome for these other people. I feel this card too. Rose, love. I know group number 1 that you're such a loving person. Like, I can feel that from the dog energy, just even from that scene. It was like pure state of bliss just being in that scene. I almost just want to go back there now willingly because it was nice just being in the sun. I'm filming this in December in the Northern Hemisphere. It's cold. It's kind of like gloomy outside. And it was just like rejuvenating, felt so peaceful, and like my heart just feels full and happy and safe when I'm in that energy. And so that's kind of what Spirit, again, wants you to be focusing on. And like, that is the love that you can give to others. That's the teamwork. That's the gift. And that's what's really going to help. Okay, I do feel like, let's go into some tarot cards now. So for group number 1, what do they need to know about this flower symbol, about this, the sunflowers, and about what they're doing for this collective transmutation? Because that's kind of what it feels like, collective transmutation, where you're working for the collective, but not by taking on that stress or worry, but by, being in that loving energy. You've got the Moon card. Yeah, this is all happening very unconsciously. So you are a direct conduit for the unconscious of the collective soul. The world soul flows through you, is what Spirit just said. And you are a deep feeler, group number 1. Very intuitive, very empathic, highly energetically sensitive. So you need to take care of yourself. And that's why they've been showing me the sunflower as well, because I'm in your group with you, right? So same thing. And the best work that we can do is to release that stress, because the more that we vibe high, the better that we are doing for the team. Ace of Pentacles, and it will manifest physically. Physically, they just showed me health and wealth. When I think of sunflowers, they're really strong and sturdy. They grow super tall from one single sunflower seed. An entire 7 or 10 foot tall sunflower can grow. And they showed me that entire field. It was like a huge, soccer field sized expanse of these sunflowers in the sun. And it was just so beautiful. They're drawing my attention to the moon in this card in the background behind that pentacle there. And you did just have the moon card. So I do feel like they're actually saying focus on the sun, which is the conscious mind. And the moon represents the unconscious, which can house our fears. So they want you to be aware of what's there by shining light on it. And it's kind of like the sunflower. I know that they don't actually do this, but this is like the sort of the old wives' tale around it, is that the sunflowers follow the light, so they move and face the sun. If that's actually true, that's really cool. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what I've heard. So anyway, it's like the same kind of concept here, is like the more that you follow the light, the more that you turn your face towards the sun, which in this case is really about choosing joy, choosing peace, choosing optimism. Being loyal to that, because that is the service to the team, to the collective, to the ones that you love. That is the gift that you hold, that you bring to the table. It's not that you can take on their stress and worries and help them heal it by shouldering their burden. No, you help to heal the world by being in a state of fun and joy. What a gift that is. Oh my God, amazing. You got the 5 of Swords. This is the stress and worry. And it could be coming from a team environment, because the 5 of Swords is 2 or more people, so usually 3 people or more, who are in conflict with one another, who disagree on something, who cannot come to terms, who there's pride or prejudice or misunderstanding or ego that has gotten in the way of communication and connection. And love can win over that, right? Love can win over that. But if you're choosing to be loyal to people who are hell-bent on misunderstanding you or dumping their stress or venting onto you, that's not appropriate, right? Venting is okay sometimes, but we need to be consciously aware of whether the other person is able to receive, or hold space for that, really. It's not about receiving it. It's like holding space for that. So the most compassionate people I've ever met, who have made me feel very safe around them, have always asked me, do you have space to listen to this grievance that I have right now? And very aware of, I don't want you to take it on. I just want to share it because it will help it get it off my chest. We're not going to spin in circles with it. We're just going to, put it out there and then move on. And sometimes people just need to be heard. But if somebody is going in spirals and they're looping back and they're venting and dumping consistently onto you with no eye for a solution or solving the problem or anything, or taking your advice or anything like that, if you're consistently being put in that role of just kind of like being the trash can that everybody throws their junk into, that's not okay. That's not okay, group number one. So Spirit wants you to remove yourself from those environments or those relationships, or set some boundaries around those, so that you can work in a team environment that is going to be a lot more harmonious and conducive to mutual growth. Two of Swords. You know, we did have the Decide card on the bottom. Where did it go? Right there. The Decide card. It's time to make a decision, and you have the Two of Swords, which is about making a decision. So you do have to decide, group number one, what you're going to do here. Are you going to continue to play this role of the caregiver to your own expense, or at your own expense, I should say? Or are you going to team up with people who really honor and respect your needs in conjunction to theirs? And if they are inadvertently dumping on you, it's like those are the type of people who would want to know. Like, they would want you to tell them, hey, I'm not in a good position to hold space for you right now. Can we talk about something else? And they wouldn't take that personally. They'd be like, oh God, yeah, I don't want to hurt you at all. Sorry, we'll come back to that at another point. Or I'll go to someone else for that. Or I'll deal with that on my own, Nobody's feeling neglected. Nobody's feeling obligated. Nobody's feeling overlooked. I think that's something that you kind of need to decide your approach on this. And if this isn't even like a specific person, this could just be something you're doing unconsciously, again, because you're connected to the collective. So at the collective level, there is some stuff that you're absorbing. There's some dross that's coming through from the collective, whether you're just kind of out in public, or even if you're sitting alone in your home, you're still connected to the collective soup, right? You're an ingredient in it. So you can't really separate yourself from it, even if you try to physically. We have Flowers with Romance and Sweetness. This could be a romantic relationship, because you did have the Love card and now you have this one. So this could be a romantic relationship for some of you. Or these could be past romantic relationships. Like, I know for me, this has been a pattern in my romance life, and I'm not with anyone right now, but that has definitely been the role that I stepped into, just to give you guys an example of how this might be showing up. Because I know for me, examples are helpful in understanding certain energies. So like, I would date people and I would be like aggressively loyal to the point where I would take on the burden of everything, even if it was not appropriate for me to do so. And it was because I lacked boundaries, and I learned that the hard way. I thought that I was being a good teammate, but really, by shouldering the burden for my partners, emotionally, financially sometimes, or otherwise, I was actually doing them a disservice, because I wasn't allowing them to do what they needed to do to level up, whether it was clearing karma or doing that emotional healing work or feeling confident and self-respecting in their ability to provide. I kind of like took that away from them, and I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, because I was just trying to help. But that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like the loyalty or the faithfulness being misplaced by serving too many masters outside of yourself. Whether it's a relationship, a boss, a team environment in your work situation, multiple colleagues, parents, family members, etc. Whatever it happens to be, your primary loyalty should always lie with yourself. Because when you are doing your best, that's when you can really help other people. That's when you can really make a difference in the world. This is definitely a subconscious thing, because they keep drawing me back to the moon in these cards, and the swords are crossing over top of the moon in this particular card. So it definitely feels, group number one, like you've not wanted to see this, or it's been hidden from you, because she's got that blindfold over her eyes, but it's a golden blindfold. So there's something that you've kind of maybe even glorified here, that you didn't want to see this, because you'll have to admit that you can't keep doing that. Or you'll have to admit that you're more powerful than you think you are. I just got that message, and I don't really know how that kind of fits in here, but they just told me that you haven't wanted to see your own power. And so by unconsciously giving your power away to others, by being loyal in situations that didn't necessarily call for it, or where you felt obligated, by taking on all of this extra burden, you were weighing yourself down almost intentionally, I'm not saying consciously intentionally, but like unconscious, the subconscious mind was trying to keep you in your place, the place that it thought that it needed to be to feel safe. What? This is such a bizarre message, and it relates to everything else that we've seen. But it's like your subconscious mind was trying to protect you in some way. It was a little warped, but it was trying to do that. You have slowness and protection here with the turtle. It was trying to protect you. It was trying to slow you down because it felt overwhelmed by the power that you really have within. So it was like, well, if I can take on all of this outside of me, then I don't have to focus on my own power. Or if I can do all of this for other people externally, then I'll feel better about my role. But really, it was like by taking on all of these burdens, you were kind of weighing yourself down and preventing yourself from really stepping into your true power, which is peace. You have the power of peace within you. They just drew my attention to the dove in this card, right there in the corner. And this is the symbol of peace. And that was a very dominant energy that I was getting from the sunflower. It was like the peace and contentment of pure joy, just feeling safe and warm and cared for and blissful in the moment. So this has almost been like a coping mechanism. And again, speaking from experience here, I can see why, this is making sense for me. Spirits speaking real loud and clear here. They're not sugarcoating it today. Yeah, it's almost like by taking on the responsibility for everyone else and then getting stressed out because of it, it was like this unconscious mechanism for holding yourself back because there was fear around stepping into your full power, the full power of contentment, the full power of peace. Ooh. Maybe there was even a fear of, if I go into this space of contentment and peace and joy, it's going to be taken away, or there's going to be something that will confound it, or, like the other shoe will drop, something like that. And it's like, no, group number one, that's not going to be the case. That's just the fear. And that's where that unconscious mechanism was coming from. And that's what this synchronicity and these patterns have been trying to tell you. And that's why they've led you to this reading. That's why you felt called to the sunflower, is because it's time for you to heal this fear and step into your power. By seeing this, by understanding it more directly, you can now choose and decide for yourself where you want to put your focus, where you want to choose to give your energy, and to whom. Who are you being loyal to? And if you're being loyal to someone else and not to yourself, there's an issue there. And that doesn't mean abandoning other people or not being loyal to anyone outside of you. No, it's loyalty to self first and then to others. Yeah, they want you to see the truth of this so that you can let go of all of the stuff that you've taken on that has been weighing you down and like it's been dampening your power. They just keep showing me that. They keep showing me that. It's very 10 of Wands energy. Okay, let's get some final closing messages for you, group number one, because we're already at 23 minutes. What else does group number one need to know about this synchronicity, Spirit? 9 of Swords. That's the stress. Literally, you have the let go of stress card and the 9 of Swords. I mean, come on. Spirit's speaking very clearly here, group number one. They want you to let go of stress and reconnect to your childlike innocence. Be loyal to yourself. Heal these unconscious fears. Again, we've got the moon in the corner there. This is at night. So these are like childhood fears or unconscious fears or fears that come up when you're sleeping. These, pay attention to your dreams, because that's probably when these fears are going to be showing up for you, and you'll be better able to make some real life physical changes and decisions in how you approach relationships and specifically love, because you will know this pattern better. You will see it. And anytime you see the sunflower, that's an indication you need to let go of stress and you need to choose peace. You need to be loyal to yourself, because that's justice. That's fair. Things have not been fair, group number one. You've been giving too much, taking on too much, and it's been imbalanced. And again, not just for you, but also for the other person. It's not fair for them either. You're depriving them of their karmic growth, because that's what karma's for. It's not a punishment, it's for growth. If we take that away from someone, they don't grow. They don't step into their power. And neither do you. It's a lose-lose. And alignment is always a win-win. Page of Wands reversed. And the 10 of Wands, I knew it was going to come out. I just felt it because they kept showing that to me in my mind. It was like this person carrying all these wands on their back. Yeah. So you've been carrying other people's wands and you need to put that down. Wheel of Fortune in reverse on the bottom as well. That's the karma I was just talking about. It was imbalanced. You were taking on other people's karma. You were shouldering the burdens that were not yours to carry. And it was actually because you were afraid of stepping into your own power. So you're like, if I take on other people's burdens, then I have like an excuse, like a built-in unconscious excuse to not be able to do what I'm fully capable of. And by stepping into your joy and into your peace and into your loyalty to self, letting go of that stress, that's when you step into your full power. And it's safe, group number 1. It's safe for you to do that. Feel it right here in your heart. Feel that stress just melt away. Take a big deep breath with me. Release it and feel that stress just melting away. Feel the sun on your face warming you from the outside in and the inside out. Feel all of those burdens from all of the people in your life that you, in a sort of misguided or misdirected way, tried to serve. And honor and accept and forgive them, forgive yourself. Let it all go. Let it all just fall away. And let it be replaced with that peace, that contentment, and above all, that love. So I hope this reading helped group number 1. That's my highest intention. It definitely helped me to see something that I was not seeing. I was blindfolded too, just like you. Yeah. So this has been helpful for me at the very least, but I hope it was good for you too. So thank you for being here, guys. If you guys want to go deeper, I'm still going to be talking about Tarot 101, which is coming up on January 3rd. If you want to sign up, you can do so now. We're going to be going into a deep dive of reading the tarot, interpreting symbolism, and how to work with it on a practical level in your day-to-day life. If you want to dive deeper here on the channel as well, we have memberships available, so you can jump over to the member side of the channel and check out all of the members-only content, which is a lot of, there's lots of weekly guidance. There's even more of the deep dive spiritual context or concepts that I'm coming out with. Like we talked about the dragon's blood, we talked about dragon activations, 12-strand DNA. We've been talking about starseed origins, and there's even more sort of like deep dive content to come. So if you're interested in going even deeper, that's the place for it, as we can really connect a little bit more closely on that side of the channel energetically. And if you're looking for a reading with me, I am still accepting some clients. I'm going to be reducing even more my hours in terms of doing personal readings as I focus on building courses for the year to come. So if you guys are interested in getting a tarot reading from me or a psychic reading and healing session, I'm a Reiki master, an Akashic reader, a spiritual teacher and mentor, and of course an intuitive tarot reader. So if you guys are interested in any of the services one-on-one that I provide, you can find all the information through my website, which is linked in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2. Welcome to your Synchronicities reading. You guys chose the plums, and I'm really interested to see what the message is here for this one. So for those of you who don't know what synchronicities are, basically they're meaningful coincidences. The term was coined by Carl Jung, my personal favorite psychologist, and it's a meaningful coincidence. So these are patterns, symbols, signs, imagery that are repeated through spirits trying to communicate with us and deliver these messages. So that's what they prompted me to sit down and do today, and they had me select intuitively these particular images. You guys chose the plums. So I'm going to tune in psychically and just see what this message or what this synchronicity means. Okay. So what they showed me was somebody biting into a nice, ripe, juicy plum, and it was really sweet and delicious, but then their teeth hit down on the core, what do you call that? Seed, I guess, in the middle. What is that called? Yeah, the core, the seed, that pit. Thank you. The pit in the middle of the plum. And it's like almost, it was like painful, and it almost like caused the tooth to fall out. No, this is all symbolism. This isn't necessarily literal, right? But what they're showing me, oh my God, why am I getting so agitated? Okay, even just in the process of trying to describe what they showed me psychically, I got agitated, and I felt like I couldn't get it out. So take two. They showed me somebody biting into a plum, and there was a lot of juicy sweetness, but then their teeth hit the pit in the middle of the plum, and it was like painful. And then they got angry, and they threw the plum, and they threw the seed, like, oh, what the hell? That's kind of what I was getting energetically from it. And that's what I was also feeling when I tried to describe the images that they were showing me. And then I was like getting itchy, and like everything was just felt like really uncomfortable, and it felt like it was like grinding the gears, it was like biting into the pit. It hurt, you're expecting something sweet and delicious, and then there's this unexpected pain. That's kind of the message here behind the synchronicity of the plum. So let's find out what that is. Oh, they wanted to remind me that they showed me more than that. Hold on, backtrack a little. The person was resentful of the pit. They threw the pit, and then the pit planted itself, because it's a seed, and it started growing a tree. And then there was even more plums. But this person wasn't seeing the value of that. This person in the example, it doesn't have to be you. It's just an energy, but they weren't seeing the value in the plum. They were completely not seeing the value of the sweetness and the nutrition of the fruit because the seed got in the way one time. So I think it has to do with perspective. I think it has to do with, the way that you're seeing something or the way that you've interpreted it, and not seeing the value in what is there. So let's get more information. We're going to start with the animal deck. So what for group number 2 is the synchronicity of the plum trying to show them? Why is this coming up? You have the ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all good things in your life. So it does feel like good things, right? Like the plum is sweet and good. The seed or the pit actually grows more of that. So it's abundance. Yeah, that's what they were showing me. It's like abundance that is meant for you, but maybe through one situation where it like didn't feel good, or there was something in it that you didn't expect, or that you just weren't aware of that was there, that created this perspective of, oh, it's not good. You also have the Roadrunner. Keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. I think that's perfect advice for this message that they're bringing through in regard to the plum. It's like if you want to embrace the abundance that's being offered to you and the good luck, it's about not taking it so seriously. Like if you hurt yourself on biting into that pit, just kind of laugh it off instead of going into that energy of resentfulness and expecting the worst every time, because that's blocking your abundance, is what they're showing me, because you're not seeing the abundance that's there. You're not appreciating the sweetness. You're not getting to enjoy it, which you're meant to. You're meant to have that. You're meant to enjoy the abundance. You're meant to have more and more and more. But if you're only focusing on what you don't want in this situation, you're kind of blocking everything out. You also have the emu on the bottom of the deck. This is a good time to go on a new adventure, is what it says. So it's kind of like getting out of your own way, or getting out of a rut almost, because the Roadrunner feels like, fast movement as well. So this could be a really good time or an opportunity for you to be doing something you've never done before, or going somewhere you've never been before. But again, it's like, oh, they're really emphasizing the laughter. Wow, they had keep your sense of humor with the Roadrunner, and now we have laughter fall out of the unicorn deck, and it says you need a good laugh. So group number 2, you really need a good laugh. You need to kind of see the humor in this situation. It's like it's just a pit. They're in every plum. And it's kind of like, instead of beating yourself up for biting too hard on it in your exuberance to enjoy the sweetness of that plum, and then getting hurt, it's like just kind of laugh at yourself a little bit. It's okay. We're human. We make mistakes. We all bite our own tongues or our own cheeks or whatever, It's like, oh, that's just humans being human. Got a little overexcited, weren't really paying attention, got a little hurt, but it's okay. It'll heal. It'll get better. And what Spirit's trying to teach you here, what they're trying to show you, is that if you can just kind of let this go by laughing it off and not beating yourself up over it, because I think that's kind of what's happening here, is you're beating yourself up for maybe being a little overzealous with something and then kind of hitting something hard in the middle of something good, but then only focusing on the bad. I hope I'm explaining this well. You have creative on the bottom, draw, paint, think, and act in creative ways. So they're trying to get you out of this mindset of doom and gloom or shame or, feeling like this abundance isn't there or it's only bad luck. It's like you've got a dark rain cloud over your head floating around, group number 2, and they want to get you out of that. And laughter's going to do it. Creativity is going to do it. A change of scene is going to do it. So go on an adventure, learn a new hobby or skill, express yourself creatively, laugh at yourself and your little silly foibles of being human. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, completely imperfect dance that we do here as humans. So see it from that perspective, kind of get out of your own way here, because there's so many blessings of abundance that are all around you. And it's kind of like the perspective is blocking it. Ooh, you have metamorphosis with Pau d'Arco. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but metamorphosis. And the number 7 here as well. Pluto and the moon. Yeah. Transformation, taking your power back, taking your mask off, letting yourself be free. I see emotional healing happening here, emotional healing for sure. Even the ovaries in the background there, or the uterus, what is that? That whole thing. It's kind of like the dark cloud of PMS has been over you, whether or not you're a woman. It's just like that energy of, I won't say that it's like negativity necessarily, group number 2. It's more like just being extra sensitive. And maybe because you're extra sensitive and you were expecting something good and then something bad happened, it really kind of sucked the wind out of your sails and deflated you. It's completely understandable. But that's why Spirit wants you to just be able to find the humor in it and laugh it off, because it's going to take some of the sting away. The humor is going to act as a salve to help to heal any hurt that was created from that situation. And you're going to be able to move on and change into so much more, like so much more. And there's going to be so much growth and so much abundance and so much. I just got the word pleasure as too. So there's going to be a lot of pleasurable experiences for you, like the sweetness, the juiciness of that plum is going to be there for you. It's just like you kind of got to get out of your own way here a little bit from these negative expectations or this negative experience that you had. Got to let this heal. So what is this? Oh, no, I kind of lost the card in there. I saw one, but then I kind of lost it. Let's do this one instead. Peaceful warrior, milk thistle. Interesting. Milk thistle, peaceful warrior. Again, we have the moon here. So it's a very emotional thing. And that's why they want you to raise the frequency of your emotions. And laughter is one of the quickest and easiest ways to do that. So maybe it's just kind of like sitting down and watching a funny movie or calling a friend and having a good laugh about something. And not at your own expense, but just kind of seeing the humor in any tough situation that you've been going through, because that's how you're going to nurture yourself and how you're going to heal from this. Because it does feel like it was painful for you. The thistle in the milk thistle really stood out to me. It's like prickly. There's something prickly. It was like the hard plum core or the pit. And it's just, you weren't expecting it. And it was, I think that caught you off guard. But yeah, it's not going to happen again, because now you're all the wiser for it, right? You're like, oh, I'm not going to bite so hard into that plum next time, because I know that hurt my teeth. It wasn't the plum's fault. It wasn't the pit's fault. It wasn't even my fault. It was just something that happened. And like, oh, whoops, I made a mistake. Okay, let's try again. And this time I'm going to go a little slower, and I'm going to get to actually enjoy the process of the nourishment and the sweetness and all the pleasure of enjoying this beautiful fruit and all of the wealth of abundance that comes from that. And even in the pit, even in the thing that you didn't want, even in the thing that caused you harm, there's going to be flourishing new abundance that comes from that too. Because like they were showing us, the pit grows into these plum trees where you can eat slowly and really savor and enjoy the nourishment and the pleasure of that. They keep bringing me to pleasure. It's very like sacral chakra. And then we have sage with blessing. So sage is really good for clearing things out. You probably need to do a little bit of a cleanse or a clear here. And I think that's why they're recommending humor and creativity and getting moving or doing something different, because that will shift the energy. It's kind of like you've been under this rain cloud or in this little rut of negative thinking or perception, probably because of that pain or that disappointment that you had. But Spirit's trying to bring you a blessing here, and that's why they've drawn you to this reading, and that's why they're showing you these synchronicities, or they will be. So anytime you see the plum, they want you to focus on the positive. They want you to see the lighter side of the situation. They want you to focus on the pleasure and expressing yourself, creativity, getting sensually connected to the experiences of life, and allowing your sensitivity to be there, but not rule you, especially from that negative mindset. Yeah, they want you to clear that out. Kind of like let that go. Okay, so let's see. Why else is the plum here for group number 2? You have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. And look at this particular deck that I was called to use. I always intuitively select the particular decks. And in this one, she's harvesting fruit from a tree. So I think that's very interesting because you chose the plum, which grows on trees. And that's what they were showing us in the vision. Now, the 7 of Pentacles is kind of like it's not ripe yet. This could also have been the situation. Maybe you bit into a fruit in this metaphor, right? You bit into something, you dove into something, thinking that it was going to be pleasurable and sweet and beautiful. And then it was sour and bitter, and that hard pit was in the center, and maybe there was a worm in it, it's like, it just wasn't what you were expecting. And there was like this shock and disappointment and then this pessimism that kind of resulted from it. But it's time to let that go because it's coming up in reverse. Like it's time to take action. It's time to move in a new direction. It's time to get outside of that pattern. It's time to harvest the good things in life. And they want you to focus on those good things for you. Definitely. Like nourish yourself, heal yourself. Connect to your divine feminine. I'm seeing that really clearly in a lot of these because that's going to increase your sense of abundance as well. Now, I have to say that I don't see it in the cards, but I'm getting it energetically, so I do have to mention it, group 2. If this was to do with relationships, like if you got into a relationship, especially like a sexual connection with someone, and you thought that it was going to be really beautiful and healing, and there was going to be like deep bonding there, and then all of a sudden it like turned sour and the person like ghosted you, or it just wasn't good, or they were not respectful or something like that. Spirit wants you to not hold on to that as an example or a template for all relationships or all sexual encounters or all experiences. If it's not relational, could have been like, I don't know, like let's say you tried to create something and you felt like it wasn't quite perfect, and then somebody really pointed that out to you and you were just like felt slapped in the face, and you're like, I tried to do something that I really enjoyed and then it just turned out bad and now I don't ever want to do it again. Spirit's like, no, just let it go, laugh it off if you can, try to find the lighter side of it, because they want you to keep pursuing this course of action, not necessarily with that person or not necessarily with that old energy of the it's not good enough or perfectionism, but really just kind of like letting yourself be free to enjoy things. And I just heard, and bugger what anyone else thinks about it. Is somebody British here? Because I would never say that. I'm Canadian. I don't use the word bugger, but that's what they just said. And bugger everyone else, like bugger off. Let me just enjoy my whatever it is in peace. So yeah, interesting. Let me see what else. You've got the Magician in reverse. Yeah, because you're manifesting really powerfully right now. And if you're wanting abundance and sweetness, then you have to be in that energy. And that's why they want to get you out of this energy of seeing the worst in the situation, or the fear of disappointment, or the fear of something being painful in something that's pleasurable. It's not like, no, it's not. Because your approach is going to be different. The way that you're doing it is going to be different. Your discernment is going to be better. The time is better now. The time is now for abundance. Before it wasn't, but now they're bringing in these blessings for you. Ooh, and underneath the blessing card, we have Journey with Makuna. Journey. And it said in the Emu card, it's a good time for a new adventure. And then underneath that we have Trust. And I'm just going to keep going because they keep, and Wealth. Wealth, trust, wealth, and surrender. Woo! Group number 2. Like, if this is to do with money, like maybe you thought that you were gonna create something and it was going to bring you a lot of resources financially, but then there was something painful in it, like maybe nobody bought it, or it didn't turn out how you thought that it would, or maybe you asked for a raise and you didn't get it, right? It's like there was an expectation of something sweet and then instead you got something painful. And again, they're saying like, no, that's not the truth of this situation. The lesson here is about surrender. It's about choosing to be optimistic about that situation by seeing the best in it, not necessarily choosing to delude yourself into thinking it could work, but it's more like just kind of laughing it off, letting it go, and then being able to move on and manifest what is for you, because what is not for you will not work out, and what is for you will work out. But it is also contingent on your approach and your perspective and the energy you bring to the situation. And what they're showing me right here is that you're powerfully manifesting right now, and they want you to trust that there's a blessing hidden in the situation that you didn't see. Even if it was a little bit painful and disappointing, there's a hidden blessing in it. It's going to lead you on a new adventure, and this is what is meant to be, and it's going to result in something that you don't see coming, a metamorphosis of the soul. And it's through embracing and surrendering to this, by choosing to see that lighter perspective and be perpetually optimistic in the situation, that the blessings are going to come in. Okay, that's really what I'm seeing here. The King of Wands reversed. This reminds me of sacral chakra. Again, it could have been like a sexual relationship, like I was saying, but it could be to do with money, finances, career, entrepreneurship, really anything like that. We also have the Moon card, and these are the subconscious fears or the expectations of the worst is what I just heard, the expecting the worst. You know, I was listening to an audiobook yesterday or the day before, and one of the quotes that really stood out to me was, if you expect the best and prepare for the worst, you'll get what you prepare for. Now, this isn't saying that you can't be prepared, but it's being very discerning about where you're putting your focus and energy, because it's one thing to be prepared for the worst and then never think about it again and just have like a contingency plan. And it's a completely different thing to really hold that fear of the worst in your mind and add a lot of energy to that, and then actually create that. Especially as manifestors, it's less about being realistic and more about being intentionally optimistic. And that's what I'm seeing here for you, group number 2. And that's what Spirit's been really teaching me lately too. So, you know, this makes sense to me too, because it is this process of deep surrender where you have to realize that it's not necessarily about what you see or what you've experienced in the past. It's what you're contributing your energy to, because you're a powerful manifester. You have a lot of energy behind you, number 2. And they want you to focus and direct that powerful energy in an intentional way, using that lighthearted approach, because that's going to get you better results. They want you to let go of something from the past that hurt you. You also have the Ace of Pentacles. Again, this could have to do with money. It's like that seed, right? Or that's the pit that maybe in this bad situation, there's going to be a blessing that comes from it. It's like the silver lining that you're not seeing right now because you haven't seen where the journey is going to lead you, but it is going to lead you, to the King of Cups. Interesting. So again, if this is a relationship, it's like this person who you thought was going to be all fiery and passionate and loving and wonderful turned out to be a total dud, and you were really hurt by that, or you kind of took that personally, or you got pessimistic about that. And they're saying, no, this is actually leading you on a journey. This was a seed almost that needed to be planted to lead you on the path to your true abundance, which is this King of Cups energy. Male or female, doesn't matter, but this is like, especially in the upright position, very loving, very compassionate, very joyful, also very sensual, so very sacral, but it's more like emotionally sensual rather than physically passionate like the King of Wands would be. So if this is a relationship thing, they want you to know that there's a lot of internal change happening for you right now, and your approach is changing, your mindset is shifting, and the tree is bearing fruit and it's ripening. It's almost ready to pick, is what they're showing me. And if this is money, same thing. So just take it as it resonates for you. But you're being blessed with a lot of good fortune right now. So open your arms to receive that. Don't expect the worst. Expect the best. Prepare for the best. Because it's not delusional right now. In any other case, it would be. But in this particular case, with the energy that you're working with, it's not delusional to expect the best. Not necessarily from this person who disappointed you or from the situation that disappointed you, but from what that's leading you to, okay? And you don't see it yet, so just hold the faith, surrender, that, understand that everything is happening for a reason. There is a game plan to this, and the way that you can support the universe in working in your favor in this way is going to be through expressing your creativity, getting out of your comfort zone, doing new things, and finding your lightheartedness again, learning to laugh at all situations, good or bad, and choosing to see the light at the end of the tunnel, choosing to be optimistic about this, because that is going to get you out of this stuck situation and into the prosperity and abundance that you deserve, and the recognition as well. Okay? So just kind of, work on bringing more humor, lighten your heart, let some of that load of the disappointment go, the heaviness of that, and then move into the unknown with this just faith, really. Like, that's the best word that I can use to describe it. Faith. Like, Spirit just wants you to have faith right now. So that's what the plum represents. So anytime you see the plum, just recognize that this is Spirit calling you to have faith. And they want you to surrender and see the sweetness in every situation. They want you to connect to your creative energy, maybe do some sacral chakra healing. Finances and relationships are connected to that energy center. So makes sense. Okay. So that's what I see for you, group number 2. I hope this reading helped. I hope that it gave you a little bit of clarity on this particular synchronicity or on this message of the plums. Keep your eyes peeled for more synchronicities to come. These energies within these readings are usually breadcrumbs that lead you into more information from other readers or from your life and the way Spirit speaks to you. So use your intuition to discern those and follow the messages, but keep your heart light. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you want to learn to read tarot, the upcoming Tarot 101 class in January is still open for bookings. So there's a few spots left. You guys can get in if you are wanting to learn tarot in a practical way and have that help you along this path that we have here in this life. And if you guys want to go a little deeper here on the channel, we also have memberships available. There's lots of members-only content, weekly readings, monthly live streams where we do members-only private readings. And there's also lots more deep dive spiritual content if you're looking to go even deeper into this spiritual journey. And if you guys need one-on-one work, I am still accepting clients for a short period of time. In the new year, I'll be focusing more on courses and content creation. So if you guys want to book in for a personal reading with me, I am a professional Akashic reader, psychic medium, spiritual healer, Reiki master, mentor, and teacher. So if you guys are interested in a tarot reading, a psychic reading, an energy healing session, or anything like that, you can check out my options through my website, which is in the description box below. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the pink heart, and Spirit had me channel or intuitively select that particular image. There was a couple of other pink hearts, and they told me specifically that one, which was actually the plainest, most sort of simple pink heart. So I kind of wanted to mention that or take note of that, and we'll see what comes up around that. So for those of you who don't know, synchronicities are repeating messages or sequences of events that have meaning. So it's like meaningful coincidences. The term was coined by Carl Jung, my favorite psychologist, and this is what we're going to be exploring today. So we're going to be looking at the meaning behind this particular image or symbol or these other repeating sequences of events that are happening in your life. So let's start. Actually, before we pull any cards, I'm just going to tune in energetically or psychically to the symbol that you chose and find out what that means. Okay, so that was actually really cool what they showed me and like what just happened right there. So let me explain it. What they showed me was that pink heart, and it was just like this sort of 2D plain heart, and it like kind of descended right over my heart chakra, so into my chest. And then it started to almost like expand and dissolve into me, and it started filling me with this pure pink energy. And it felt very innocent and very sweet. I almost had this taste of like strawberry milk chocolate, which I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's the way that I would describe it. It was like this sort of pink chocolate is what it tasted like. And it filled my entire being with like this very innocent, almost like a young type of energy of love. It reminded me sort of similar to, I don't know, the feeling that I would get on Valentine's Day as a kid, you know, when you'd go to school and you'd put your little bag with your name on it on your desk or whatever, and everybody would bring their little Valentine's cards and put them in everybody else's bags. It just felt like that. Like it was very, very sweet, very innocent, very enjoyable. It wasn't like this intense adult love or this intense passion or anything like that. It was just like innocent and sweet and enjoyable. So that's kind of what I was feeling. Let's get some more information about what this could be. February 14th might be significant because it did, like that reference to Valentine's Day did come up. So let's find out. I see 2 cards actually from this deck. So let's take a look at these. You have the Cat. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your overdependency on others. Wow. So this definitely has to do with love and relationships, and especially self-love, like the focus on self-love, as the cats are very independent. You also have the Cardinal card. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. Sorry that it doesn't focus, so it's really hard to like kind of read what those words say. Does it focus a bit better there? Anyway, the balance of energies is out of whack, and they're trying to bring it back into harmony through showing you these synchronicities and these symbols that are leading you to detach a little bit from overdependency on others for emotional love or satisfaction or connection, and really choosing to have that very innocent, very sweet connection with yourself is kind of what it feels like. But let's get more information. Let's keep going. Ooh, happy surprise. Something very good is about to happen. And I love that this card just kind of screams that like young, innocent, youthful, joyous, loving energy. It's like this happy surprise. It's super sweet. So whatever this is, it does feel like it's purifying your heart. There is a happy surprise coming in regard to love. One step at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. And I just heard somewhere over the rainbow in my head, and then I looked up and the rainbow in the background there really caught my attention. So there's something that you've been dreaming of. Dreams come true. It literally says, lots of little steps make big dreams come true. And then they took me to that line in the song. That I dreamed of once on a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, dreams come true. Okay, well, I can't remember the lyrics of the song. I remember the first little bit, but it feels like dreams come true is part or one of the lines of that song. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. That's kind of what they're showing me. So there's like a dream that you've wanted, and it is going to come true. But it's just a process of you kind of going through a little bit of detachment right now from the outcome, or detachment from other people in the situation, because over-dependency has created an imbalance, and they want you to like one step at a time, come back into balance with yourself. I do feel these 2 cards from this deck. We have initiation with cacao. Interesting. One step at a time does feel like an initiation. It's like you're moving from one space to another, from one state of being to another. You also have mugwort with psychic healing. Ooh, okay. Something very good is about to happen, group number 3. I do see this unicorn peeking through the window, and this like mirror that kind of always reminds me of a portal. I feel like there's a portal opening up for you. And even with the reference to the Wizard of Oz, it's like she goes through kind of like a portal too, right? So there's something about this that is, it's like there's a portal that's opening up that's getting you from one state of being to another. And where you were before was a little bit over dependent or an imbalanced relationship dynamic with other people, especially as it relates to love. This may have stemmed from childhood, right? Because that's the reference that they were showing us. And how you understand, interpret, and integrate love is, I think, changing now. And so you're moving into a new portal, a new timeline, basically. Like when we move through portals, we're moving to different realities and different timelines because our vibration is shifting. So you are shifting your vibration and moving through these different bandwidths of polarity, and you're moving from one side, which was imbalanced, to the one that's going to be much more balanced. Let's get more information. Oh, actually, they want to go into the coffee cup oracle. I was going to go straight into tarot, but they said get this one first. Yeah, we have the rabbit, pregnancy and fears. So the children could be a factor here because we had that reference to childhood Valentine's Day. We have this little girl here in Happy Surprise, and we have the pregnancy and fears with the rabbit. So yeah, this could have something to do with your inner child. It could have something to do with actual children of yours. Could have to do with getting pregnant if you're wanting to get pregnant. It's kind of like detaching from that desire and just letting it happen, taking it one step at a time. Because there will be a happy surprise. If you're not looking to get pregnant, I would say physically guard against it. Because I'm seeing the words physical pleasures here in the cardinal card, and then pregnancy fears and happy surprise. It could be like maybe you're doing some physical pleasures and then you get pregnant or you get someone pregnant, depending on your sex. And then you get a happy little surprise, and it's like, oh, okay, if you don't want that, you know what to do. Forewarned is forearmed. But I'm seeing that if that is something that you want, it's a possibility here. But it's really like a process of detaching. They just keep giving me that energy of detachment. And it's not detachment in a cold or isolated way. It's detachment in a loving way. So it's kind of like, that's what I desire, and I can let it go because I know that's what's for me. It will always be for me. That's the psychic healing. I think that's the energy that gets you through the door here, the portal. That's what opens it up and gets you into this energy of receiving what is for you, because you're letting go of the dependency which comes from a place of lack. So instead, you're choosing to step into feeling fulfilled from within yourself. And that taste of sweet chocolate was in my mouth before. So it did, that's Claire Gustance, I think. Yeah, Claire Gustance, being able to taste psychically. It's cool. It doesn't happen super often, but it did this time. And it was that taste of like indulgence and the sweet pleasures, the sweet little joys of life, focusing on how you can create that within yourself so that you don't need it so much on the outside. You have mountain challenges and achievements. This may have felt like a challenge, right? Especially, let's say, for example, this doesn't have to apply to you, but this is kind of like the example that's coming to mind. Let's say that you were having fertility issues and it felt like a mountain that you had to overcome to try and start a family with your wife or husband. And through this psychic healing that you're being called to do, you're balancing out your energy field. And as a result, you're stepping out of this sort of codependent type of energy or over-dependence on things outside of yourself to bring satisfaction or fulfillment or anything like that. Or even just the attachment to an idea of something, like having a child or starting a family, can push it away. And we see this all the time in people who try to get pregnant for years and years, and then with no luck, and then they finally adopt or they give up, and then it happens. Why? Because the energy of desperation it pushes away. It manifests the opposite of what you want because you are coming from lack, where it's like as soon as you stop needing it, as soon as you stop caring, that's when it manifests, because everything that you've put out there in terms of your intention is still there energetically, but you've just removed the resistance, and then it just kind of plops into your lap. So I know that having children is not for everyone. Like, some people choose to be child-free, like me. But there's that type of energy is what I'm feeling. So apply it to your situation however it fits. But it's like wanting something so badly and then putting a lot of pressure on yourself to get it, getting yourself a little bit out of whack, needing to do a little bit of healing around this to bring things back into balance, to release that resistance so that this happy surprise can just come and plop into your lap, because that's what it's trying to do. And you have envelope, unfolding surprise. Okay, you have 2 cards of surprise. Wow. Happy surprise and unfolding surprise. Is that what it says? Yeah, unfolding and surprise. So there is a surprise in this situation. I don't know why I keep getting pregnancy, you guys. If you don't want to get pregnant, don't be having sex, especially unprotected sex. Because they kept telling me like when my mom said to me, "You were a surprise," which really meant that I was an accident. A very happy accident, like Bob Ross would say. But yeah, I am getting that message, so there you have it. But yeah, it feels like there's something sweet that is unfolding. If this has nothing to do with pregnancy, although I think it does for some of you specifically, you'll know who you are. If these messages have been coming up synchronistically, like this is a synchronicities reading. If you've been seeing all these readings about pregnancy, or if you've been wanting to manifest a child and you've been seeing that mirrored back to you or something like that, that could be confirmation. This is just confirmation for you. If none of that applies, then this is like a surprise that's coming in for you that you've wished on a star for. You know, you've had these hopes for a long time, maybe since childhood. It could be related to love. It could be related to something else. But through this psychic healing that you're doing, healing these fears and bringing things back into balance and stepping away from that dependency and that lack energy, which was creating resistance in your manifestations, now you're going to start seeing the unfolding surprise start to come in. And it could be good news of some kind. Because I'm getting that. It feels like good news. And something that you thought was going to be this insurmountable challenge is going to become immediately achievable for you. It's like night and day. That's what it feels like. It just transforms overnight. Why? Because you stepped through a portal. Because you shifted your energy, because you changed your timeline. So what was once impossible on this one timeline because you were operating at a lower energy becomes completely possible right here and now because you're operating at a higher frequency. And we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Usually in the Empress card, she's portrayed as pregnant. Not in this particular deck, although actually she's kind of got a little baby bump. Maybe a little bit. But the Empress is ruled by Venus. And so this is about fertility. So again, we have more confirmation of that. Take it if it resonates. If it's more metaphorical for you, and this is just like fertility of manifesting your desires, again. Yeah, just don't come for me in the comments if you're like, I'm not looking to have kids. Yeah, me neither. So like, just don't take that if it doesn't resonate. We have Judgment in reverse. Okay. So it's like you're changing the way that you're seeing this situation in a big way, like overnight. 180-degree flip. And it's because you're going through this psychic healing that's initiating you into this new reality. That's what it feels like. A new reality, group number 3, that is more aligned to the sweetness, to the little sweet surprises that you desire, to potentially building a family, to manifesting the abundance you want, to feeling more fulfilled within yourself, to feeling healed, emotionally, through your inner child, to having better relationships in general. Like I'm seeing all of that here in your reading energetically and on the table in the cards. And it does feel like this is kind of, it's a call to arms. It's like Spirit has been calling you in this direction for a while and they want you to heed the call. And basically it's just by releasing resistance. The Strength card reversed. Oh, wow. Underneath that, we have the 10 of Cups. Yeah. So this definitely has to do with family and home, fulfillment, emotional contentment, children, whether it's your inner child or an actual child. And then you have the 2 of Pentacles as well. And the 2 of Pentacles is about this balance the Cardinal card was talking about. That was the balance that we were seeing needing to be restored. Because overdependency or codependency is an imbalanced energy. It comes from lack. And so here we have this energy being balanced, this psychic healing happening, leading to this happy surprise because you chose to listen to the call, Judgment. You chose to listen to the call and you chose to have the inner strength. to be able to remain open to this happy surprise and to get to this one step at a time. Because the one step at a time card and the mountain card, it's like you've been working towards this for a while. You've been doing everything that you can to make this happen, whether it's a manifestation or fertility treatments or just, doing the hanky-panky all over the place trying to get this going, or building this business, investing one step at a time trying to get this going, or communicating and doing the emotional healing work with yourself and your partner or whomever. It's like there's just been a lot of work that has gone into this. And Spirit is honoring the fact that you've put in this effort, and they want to reward you. Like they want to reward you. And it's just like this final little shift, this teeny tiny little tweak that is going to get you right into the timeline of what it is that you desire, where all your dreams come true. And I don't say that lightly. And I got a full shiver of spiritual confirmation run through my body when I said the words dreams come true. That's what they keep showing me that here on the bottom of the card. I don't think you'll be able to see it. It's blurry, but it's there. It says dreams come true. So they really want you to focus on shifting this little thing, which is to do with, it's kind of like relinquishing control, letting go and trusting your own inner strength. That's what it feels like. Bringing things back into balance physically. Maybe this is with your money, your food, or your relationships, your physical pleasures in life need to be brought back into balance. That's going to help initiate you into the next. Oh my God. Literally mid-sentence, they just showed me, remember how it felt like strawberry chocolate? I didn't even realize cacao is chocolate. That's unprocessed chocolate. It's like raw chocolate. Oh my God. So again, it's like there's something raw and honest and true that you're going to be able to turn into something so sweet and delicious and enjoyable for yourself, because raw cacao is quite bitter. But when we process it and we add like milk and sugar, stuff like that, yeah, it's delicious. So, they just showed me the heart and the crown. Yeah, you guys chose the heart. So this is doing some heart healing, doing some little final tweaks on processing some fears. Listen to the synchronicities because they're guiding you very, very clearly here, group number 3. Take it one step at a time and have a positive expectation that your dreams can and will come true, and that there will be happy surprises that are going to unfold as you shift into this new vibrational alignment that really does facilitate this happily ever after, because that's what the 10 of Cups is about. It's happily ever after. It's the family card. It's the emotional fulfillment card. It's really, like having it all. You've got the family, you've got the house, you've got the comfort. You feel really good and content. You have these loving relationships all around you. Like this is what you've been holding out for, is what it feels like. This is what you've been trying to balance in your life in one way, shape, or form. And that is what you've been creating. You've been creating this beautiful tapestry. You've been sowing the seeds of this. Ooh, look at this. Again, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little cat, like a little orange tabby. And that is what you had here. Orange tabby. That could be a significant part of this synchronicity as well. Maybe you have an orange tabby or had one in the past. Feels like innocence and playfulness. They just showed me the dolphin as well in this card in the background. So to bring more balance to your life, maybe there's a need for more playfulness, more innocence, more childlike love, even platonic love. But the innocence of the kitten just feels like playfulness to me. Same with the dolphin. So if you've been too rigid, or you've been like being in fear, things like that, they want you to redirect your focus to this shift that you're making energetically. That's going to bring about all of this happiness for you, because that's what it feels like, a very, very happy surprise that you're going to love. And it's going to be very purifying, very healing, or a result of the healing that you're doing. And it's going to be very abundant. Like I just keep getting this energy of Venus in Taurus. Like Venus in Taurus is the energy, the vibe that I'm getting. Maybe you have that in your chart, maybe not, but it's like this luxurious, comforting energy where you're just like cozied up on the couch with your loved ones, and you've got your favorite movie on, and you've got your favorite cup of tea and your favorite meal, and you've got candles lit, and it's just like the simple luxuries of life, you know? Like that beautiful sweet chocolate and those happy memories from childhood of getting some sweet little Valentine cards. You know, it's little things in life that really last. Yeah. So that's what I see for you, group number 3. This synchronicity of the heart is very much connected to the heart, and it's bringing sweetness into your life. And there's just that little bit of a tweak that is going to put you into this new timeline where all of your dreams come true. So keep the faith and keep moving one step at a time. It does feel like an overnight switch or shift that puts you into the timeline where this manifests, but it's not necessarily an overnight process of this manifesting in your life, okay? So don't take me the wrong way here. It's not like everything's just going to poof into your life overnight, but the shift that you're making will happen overnight, and it will put you in the path to what it is you desire, okay? So I hope this reading helped. It's always my highest intention is that these readings are healing for you, activating, or that they provide some synchronicities in and of themselves, some confirmation, some guidance, and maybe even breadcrumbs that Spirit will use to guide you as you continue on your path. Thank you guys for being here. And if you want to learn to read tarot for yourself, if you're interested in working with tarot for your own personal spiritual healing journey or for your own spiritual advancement and development, it can help you to increase your intuition, develop yourself psychically. It can help you to heal inside and out. And if you want to do readings for others, that's great too. It's a tool or a skill that you can actually really even create into a business if you wanted to. I have. So I'm teaching Tarot 101 in January. So on January 3rd, there's going to be a live class on Zoom, which will also be recorded and available for download if you sign up or if you want to purchase it later. We're going to be going really deep into the tarot, its meanings, and how to work with it on a practical level. And if you guys are wanting to dive deeper here on the channel, I do have memberships available. On the member side of the channel, we do a lot more in-depth spiritual style readings. So we dive more into the esoteric topics, the new earth, ascension energies, star seeds, dragons, DNA, consciousness, all of that stuff. We also do monthly live streams for the members where I pull cards and connect and give psychic readings for the members for free as part of the service. And there's even more sort of like personal content that I'm starting to share there as well, like spiritual get ready with me's and things like that. So if you guys are interested, you can hit the join button. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I'm still accepting clients for a short period of time. In 2024, I'm going to be focusing more on courses and content creation. So if you do want to book a private reading with me, now would be the time. And those services are available through my website, which is linked in the description box. I'm an Akashic reader, Reiki master, energy healer, spiritual teacher, mentor, and intuitive tarot reader. So you can check those out through my website down below. Love you guys, and we will see you in the next reading.